So SYSPRO is a specialist or boutique ERP solution aimed specifically at manufacturing solutions or at manufacturing companies. The industrial sector as a whole essentially in South Africa is very much in that space of manufacturing and actually supplying onwards in the supply chain. And in a world where technology is sort of dominating everything, and I think especially at the moment, the high focus at a global scale on manufacturing and tech is part and parcel of the whole transition for manufacturing companies in the industrial sector to actually come to grips with the fact that it's not all about the product, it's actually around the information around the product that they have to provide. We try and provide the industrial sector, whilst they are making their product, we are running their business to that extent as SYSPRO or as an ERP solution. I think every manufacturer has its own requirements and its own specific needs that it actually brings to the fore. And SYSPRO itself, we try and be a platform for them to actually bring their specific IP. So we do not try and prescribe to the manufacturers, and what we're showing them here is they can bring their IP, put it on our platform, and actually build a solution that is specific or bespoke to their requirements. If I look specifically at the South African sector, I think the two most common is cost or just purely expense. Cost of ownership, I think for all South Africans or South African manufacturers is always one of the primary objectives. SYSPRO being a South African solution, I think we have specific understanding for that, and we also try and adjust to those regional requirements. And the next one that's just global, it's not only to South Africa, is just pure resistance to change. People working within the companies are still very reluctant to adopt technology, even though the younger generation, everybody tells us, no, it's always about technology. In the workplace, there's still very much a resistance to actually adopt to certain technology and changes in technology. From our side, I think one of the biggest things is we've done this. We've got a very strong footprint. We run in the majority of manufacturing sites in South Africa, and just that experience of what is needed to actually make that transition successful is invaluable for most manufacturers. Remaining relevant in the IT sector, I think, is a challenge for everybody, from cell phone manufacturers to desktop operating systems. For us, the remaining relevant is always balanced with reliability and governance. Okay, so whilst we have to remain relevant, we always provide a stable working environment for all of our customers. The relevance question is always a case of making sure that we actually come to events like these, come to KITE, to actually understand what the industry is about. So we're not an IT company sitting in the back room turning out software. We are part of industry. It's one of our, I want to say, core values is we are built for industry. So we make sure that we understand what is happening, what is it that industry is currently looking for, and that is what we then put back into our product. Our industrial sector in South Africa is actually fairly small compared in global terms. So invariably, if we work together, we will actually remain competitive at a global scale. I think that's probably the main reason for collaboration, is we compete against a much bigger environment out there. And if we can beat that environment by working together, we all should. I think that's the crucial thing. Otherwise, the industrial sector and especially the manufacturing sector is under so much pressure from global imports, from global demands in terms of that product, and the temptation is so strong to offshore especially the manufacturing bits, that for us to always keep that in mind and actually contradict that, we basically have to work together, all the sectors, but specifically in manufacturing.